What are the advantages of hitting a 3-wood off a tee as opposed to hitting it off the floor? Let's find out, and let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. If you're new to the channel and this is your first time watching my content, make sure you consider hitting that subscribe button. My goal is to bring you guys daily golf related content that helps you raise your game, helps you lower that handicap, and just pretty much gets you enjoying your golf a little bit more. In today's video, I'm going to talk you through what you need to change in your technique to hit the ball off the tee with a 3-wood as opposed to off the floor, and also on average what gains you're going to see looking at the numbers on the launch monitor. For the purpose of today's video, I'm using the 3-wood that's in my bag at the moment, the Titleist TS3. I'm loving this 3-wood, it's fantastic, it goes a long way and it feels very, very nice. Now, when I tee the ball up, there's a couple of things I want to make sure. First of all, I want to make sure the tee height's correct. I want to see the golf ball just over the top edge of the club. Then I know that if I get the low point before the ball, I can hit up on the ball and maximise my distance just like I would with a driver. Now to help this, I'm going to make sure that ball position's nice and far forward, just like it would be with a driver. And I'm also going to make sure that spine angle's tilting slightly away from the ball. That's going to help me hit up on it and maximise distance like we said earlier. Now I know what you're saying, okay, I know all this, I know that I need to treat the 3-wood like a driver when I hit it off the tee, but what about when I'm going for a long par 5 and I need to hit it off the deck on the fairway or the rough? What do I do then? Well, let me tell you. When the ball's on the floor and you're going to hit the 3-wood, a couple of things change. I sneak that ball position back about an inch. I make sure that the spine angle isn't tilting away, and I'm going to try and hit ever so slightly down on the ball. So I hit the ball and then I just kind of brush the surface afterwards. Whereas when the ball's teed up, the low point is pre-ball and then hit up on it. So what advantages do you see when you do tee the ball up as opposed to just throwing it on the tee box and hitting it away? I'm going to hit you a handful of shots with each. I'm going to talk you through the numbers, and I'm also going to talk you through how I feel like it went and what my confidence levels were like with both. Okay guys, we're going to go off the deck first, or the floor if you're in America, and the deck, we're going to go off the ground first. I'm going to hit you a handful of shots. Let's see what the numbers say. A little bit left, but start as you mean to go on. Now I would expect the ball striking to fluctuate a little bit more off the ground as opposed to off the tee. Yeah. Better hope there's no water left on this hole. I think I'll be running out of golf balls. Let's go one more off the deck, then we'll switch it up. I'll use a tee peg and we'll take a look at the difference. Well, all very consistent. Not exactly where I'd want it to be going though. So guys, you're probably going to laugh at this, but I spoke earlier about making sure you use the right tee height. I have a bit of an issue where I don't like putting a full wooden tee peg into the ground. It just doesn't feel right. So I like to use broken wooden tee pegs. So I always have a broken wooden tee peg. Let's hit some, shall we? Now straight away here, I'm feeling way more confident, as though I can kind of go after it a little bit. I'm going to do exactly what I said earlier. I'm going to move the ball position forward. I'm going to lean back a little bit with the spine angle and see if I can launch this one down the middle of the fairway. Or into that left-hand rough again, whichever. For myself as well, when I do this, I adopt the same technique as I do with the driver. I actually hover the club head. I basically feel like I'm hitting a driver, really. Oh yeah. By the way guys, as well, if you've not tried one of these, so I'm really interested guys, does anybody else do this with a tee peg that I do and use broken ones, or is it just me? Am I just a tight Yorkshireman? Okay, last shot with the teed up 3-wood. See if we can hit a fairway. Just before I take a look at these numbers with you, that last one was a really interesting one. I tried to really open the shoulders up, tried to get after one. The ball's teed up, so I'm feeling a lot more confident. and I got it out of there. So it just shows you that when you are a lot more confident, sometimes those technique thoughts can go out the window and then you end up compromising on the strike. Let's take a look at for both the numbers on the different shots and see which one I would suit more when hitting the trusty 3-wood. So guys, take a look at the numbers. We'll take a look at the 3-wood off the deck first. All pretty good swings, to be fair. Quite happy with the distances, especially that first one. Averaging 268 distance average. Spin rate averaging at 2,430. If we now move this on to the 3-wood off the tee, again, pretty good shots. Quite happy with all of those, really. They all went a little bit left, but distance average 271, so a tiny bit more distance on the teed up shots. Spin averaging more at 2,677. But the really interesting data really comes from looking at the trajectories. So looking at the trajectories here from the ball teed up, you see how the ball comes in at a real high descent, lands really soft. Whereas if I go and have a look at on the deck, comes in much shallower and gets a little bit more roll. So you're definitely going to have more control and more distance when you tee up this 3-wood as opposed to hitting it off the floor. Guys, I really hope you found that video enjoyable. I really hope it's going to help you as well. I hope it gets you thinking a little bit more about when you should tee the ball up, when you shouldn't tee the ball up. I mean, in my case there, looking at my numbers personally, I think whenever I can tee the ball up with a 3-wood, I'm going to do, otherwise I'm costing myself distance and control when the ball lands. Guys, I'm James Robinson, I'm here at Huddersfield Golf Club. If you've enjoyed that and you'd like me to help you with your game personally, make sure you go check out my website, www.jamesrobinsongolf.com. On there, I run online lessons and I can help you personally with your game wherever you are in the world. Guys, apart from that, see you soon.